Oh, that was weird. There was no music. Whoa, what happened there? I must have hit the button and not the other thing. Hey, good morning. Wow, what a shitty start to a show. Hopefully it's a better show than that. I'm in the middle of doing something. I downloaded an image that I'm trying to put over onto the thing. So give me 1 second here while I'm prepping. And there we go. Because this is going to be I have a big announcement to make actually, and it's kind of a cool one. So let's get going here. Happy 4th of July, by the way, everybody. I wasn't going to do a show today. Today got all screwed up. I forgot to schedule the show yesterday. So Alfredo had himself going live this morning in this time slot, and like, oh shit, I better just cancel. And then he and I talked, and we put everything back together again. So busy day out there in Craps World on the 4th of July. So first of all, I'll start out by saying Happy 4th, everybody, and I'll do the obligatory be safe and all that, but I'll also say to you, have a great time. Like, it's the 4th, man. Like, party it up, have fun, burn shit on the grill, light stuff on fire, and do your thing. I'm not sure about where y'all live, but I know in some parts of the country you can't have fireworks. Right here in Washington, we have great fireworks out here. One of the things about this state, for all of its faults, we have great fireworks out here because we have the Indian reservations and they have borderline illegal everything up there, you know. So those fireworks that we can get for our houses are freaking awesome. So I used to be really into it when I was younger and the kids were younger. I'd spent hundreds every year on fireworks. Now we get to sit up on our deck, and if you come to my meetup in September, you too can sit up on my deck, but you'll see the view that we've got of like all the surrounding areas of us, and the fireworks shows that people put on their houses are just freaking awesome. So yeah, this is one of my favorite holidays. I love the 4th of July. I just love it. It's just drinking and eating all day long, and you know, one of those days where I take my glucose monitor that I've got and turn that shit off and just eat cake and do maniacal things all day long. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. Anyway, be safe. Keep your fingers intact. Y'all that are shooters need all your fingers, right? So don't blow shit up. But if you're interested, I don't know if you've ever done this before. Anybody here? I was going to say raise your hands, but you can say it in chat. Has anybody ever done what's called a sparkler bomb before? I just have to ask you this. Just say yes or no in chat. Have you ever done or seen a sparkler bomb? We did a sparkler bomb a couple years ago. I think maybe 3 years ago with a friend of ours. Holy crap, I'd never heard of one of these things. And guys showed me a YouTube video of it. I'm like, you got to be kidding me we can do that. We did one in the like on the sidewalk of his house, and it cracked the sidewalk. It set off car alarms like blocks away. It was the scariest, stupidest, but best thing I've ever done or seen in my life. It was freaking awesome. So if you've ever seen yes, you knew a kid was killed. Oh my God, really? You got to be careful. When I did that thing, I didn't do it. A friend of mine did it. That was the most dangerous thing. I actually said to him when he put it together, like, so you hold this thing like a Statue of Liberty? He goes, oh, Jesus Christ, it'll take your whole arm off. Like, you gotta be kidding me. It's the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. When that thing went off, I was literally scared to death. Like, that was like, holy crap, like it shook the ground. But it was really like, yeah, I've seen people put those things in dryers anyway, I love the 4th. I know it's a dangerous holiday, but I love the 4th of July. Darksider, I will bring this up, your question, in just a minute. I actually got a screen set aside just for you for that question because it came up yesterday. So hang on to that thought and we'll get to it. Let's see, what else is happening today? I think that's it. I just want to say that it's weird. It's weird so far not doing the morning show. Like I'm used to getting up and doing the rollout thing, and now it's everything is weird. Like sleeping later and coffee. It's kind of a mess. But let me announce this before we do anything else. I literally found out about this 10 minutes ago. Mike from On Point Crafts may or may not be in chat, but people say, where's Mike? I haven't seen Mike in a while. Well, he announced today that he's a grandpa. So Grandpa Mike is going to be back soon. He's got his grandkid and his kids are living with him. They're working on getting saved up for a house, which is awesome. We should all be so lucky to be able to help our kids and the grandkids out, get their start. So anyway, Mike's back. Mike said he'd be back soon. He'll be back talking to us at least anyway. So that's what I was doing when I was late for the show. I was trying to find his logo so I could put it up on the screen for us because I miss Mike. Mike is great. So anyway, there's that quick little woohoo announcement. But let's talk about the daily paycheck real quick. So I want to review yesterday with you. Couple things about the paycheck. One is, if you don't know, the show's moved. We're doing it at 9 o'clock in the morning Pacific time. So now it starts after we get done here, which is, again, is weird for me, but we'll get to it. I think it's day one of it was weird. And I think we talk about vibe and energy all the time. And I think vibe and energy are a real thing. And we've said this, like, do you want to play at a table with bad energy? Whatever. When we did the shooters tournament way back, I think it was a few months ago, when George had the idea to have all the shooters get together and kind of, so you can be the best shooter. I remember when I threw that, I made it to round 2. On both rounds, I couldn't have been any more nervous, right? I remember thinking to myself, God, what am I nervous for? Like, I literally shoot dice in front of you guys every day. Pardon me. I shoot dice in front of y'all every day, right? I've thrown 10,000 dice, 20,000 dice in front of you. Why am I nervous about this stupid tournament thing? It makes no sense to be nervous for it. But I was sweating, shaking. I'm like, this is nuts, It was because there was something to it, right? There was a reality to it. Like, this is actually like counting. These rolls actually count. There's a contest at play, and they matter. And when I shoot every day, I'm practicing and I'm talking, I'm doing my thing, and we don't care, right? And when I did the original Paycheck series, we did, whatever it was, 30 or 40 strategies. We did them all for a week. And I rolled them out. We logged our wins and losses, and it was the whole thing, right? It was great. Never cared. Yesterday went out there, and I'm like, hey, we're going to try and build a bankroll. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to take the strategy. We're going to play it for a month now, and we're going to try and build a bankroll with it. I'll tell you what, I was nervous as all hell yesterday. And I will be nervous now for a while moving forward, because there's something to it now. There's a difference to it, right? Now I'm actually putting like a goal to the whole thing. Like, now I'm doing it not just to fart around with strategies and see what happens. Now it's like, let's see if we can make these damn things work. Let's see if we can actually build a bankroll. And I was like, man, I felt nervous yesterday. It was really a weird feeling. Luckily, I threw good. But it came up a couple times, and I'm going to put it up now, a Darksiders question, which was, didn't see at the beginning of the Paycheck show, but I said I was going to switch. Sorry, that you should have some hard rules for the switch. Maybe. Here's the thing. Some of these strategies, and I want to, this is why I had the questions up here to ask, and you can talk to me in chat about what you think the answers to these questions are. Is it okay to switch sides? And Jen and I have been talking over text message a little bit about this, and it's like, what's the point of that show? Is that point of that show to make $100,000, playing craps, making some adjustments here and there? Is that why we're doing it? Or are we doing it to stress test the strategy for longer than a week? And I think the answer to both questions is probably yes. Like, I want to make the strategies work. I want to give them more than a week to work. I also want to make the $100,000, right? It's all true. Some strategies, and I'll give you an example, the Headless Horseman. Let's take that simple one as an example. It's a don't pass with 3 come bets. There are so many ways to play that, right? I can play that thing heavy dark. I can go $100 don't and 3 $25 come bets. I can go $25 don't and 3 $25 come bets, right? I can alter the levels, and you alter the levels based on how the table's going, based on how you're throwing that day, based on the juju in the room, whatever you want to base it on. That strategy has a change. You can go inside, 44 inside, $100 don't, $25 come bets, 44 inside, and as the come bets move, you get paid, right? There's so many ways to play that strategy, and again, it's based on, what am I doing? Am I throwing a bunch of inside numbers? Yeah, I'm going to start off inside and make myself an extra, 30 or 40 bucks as I get the come bets. That's a smart move, right? The core horseman strategy is flat don't, 3 flat comes, all the same size. So do I have room to wiggle in there? Sure, in that strategy, right? Is it a true test of the strategy if I wiggle? That's really what the question is. Should I wiggle or not? Because if I wiggle around and say, well, this one has a built-in move that I can make, skill 66 as another example. I can go 66 inside, $25 on the don't, and go 66 to 88 and off, take my winnings as odds on the don't, right? And win on both sides of that thing. Is that still a skill 66, or is that something different? Right? Have I slid it over here? And that's what I want to get to. what do y'all think we should do here? Because it's actually an important question. I know what Jen's answer is. Jen wants me to make the money. Jen wants to see me adjust in real time and make money, right? And see what I would actually do. Which is, there's learning in that probably, right? There's learning, either I suck or I'm get lucky one day, right? But we also want to stress test the strategies. And Darksider said it yesterday. He said, we want to know what the good strategies are. How are we going to know if you switch? Well, okay, that's a good point. And I'll tell you this: the Latterson has two sides to it. It's just like the odds maker, where you go don't pass, and then a come, and you put max odds on both, or you alternate odds on both. It's a both sides, and I can switch the order. I can go, pass line, don't come, or I can go don't pass, come. Either way, I can switch sides to get the rhythm that I want, which is what I do as a craps player. I think this one is the same kind of thing, where when the table shifts, it's got a built-in switch to it. Now, if you just want to see the Dolly Latterson play by itself, pure dark, can a pure dark strategy that's designed to ladder up survive a good roller? We can do that too. So I just want to know from the group, what do you want to see? Because I honestly, I can go either way. I can just mechanically play the Dolly Latterson all day long, make $100 and get the hell out of there. Or I can do it like yesterday and go, well, shooter's in a zone here. We're going to go ahead and switch sides and do the same move, just with a different starting point. And I want you to know. Well, I want to know from you, I guess. What are you asking? So let me look down here at the chats and see. Give me a second here to kind of put the glasses on. I want to run through here and see what y'all are saying here. Let's see. Where is Doracel? There he is. Yeah, Ken. Let's see. Jen says, "Do what's needed to win," like Al Davis. Just win, baby. Right. And again, is it a bankroll build? Go to 100K, or is it stress test this for 30 days, which is what I said it was in the beginning. That's really the question, right? And there we go. Do I believe that do I believe that stress level has an effect on dice outcome? If you are a practiced controller or influencer, and if there is any science to that, yes, because I believe this, right? If you actually are good at this, right? If you can actually grip, do your thing, and make all the magic happen, right? Debatable if you can do it. If you're Ed, let's put Ed Robinson, or let's put Alfredo on the or George. Let's put any one of the three good shooters that we always talk about, or Joe, right? And they can, in a perfect world, do it. If on a given day they're nervous, so they're sweating, and they're shaking instead of being stiff, that changes everything, right? If there's any science that it changes everything. So, Dice Dr. Dan says, is it still a strategy if I'm switching sides? Right? No. That's what Darksider's initial question to me was. Is it still the strategy if I switch sides? Unless the strategy has a built-in switch, like, for example, Wayland's Baccarat strategy. The line Baccarat strategy is designed with a switch built into it. That thing has to switch. That's the whole point of it. Latterson necessarily is not that way. So I wonder if we should just kind of stick to it. Ken says, make the money, right? What's more important? I think, again, it's the science experiment, right? Is it more important to make the money, or more important to really see if Latterson can last 30 days, right? And that was what I had said way back. Like, the thing should last on its own for 30 days. So I'm wondering now about either not switching or making lighter switch adjustments. Maybe that's what it's about. TCS says, go get the money. Yeah, both sides are valid to the strategy as long as I can until it's obvious it's going to cause a loss for the day, right? So again, I don't really know that I have an answer here. I have enough people saying stick to it, and enough people saying win the damn money, right? JR wants me to buy a book. Fredo says, if I make the strategy test a 30 to 45 minute video, user shooting live as a bankroll builder with a yeah, I mean, I didn't put your comment up there. Yeah, maybe we should just do it straight up, and then, I don't know, show it. I don't know what we should do. I think we should stick to it. I think you're right. I think we need to just stick to it. Let's just stick to the strategy, no switching around, see if it works, right? It takes some of the cognitive pressure off, right? But I don't know. It's hard. It's hard because I want to win. I really want to win. And yesterday I felt like I made a great decision, or the right one in that moment at least, and it just felt right. But yeah, I can see where it's. Yeah, it is both. It's build a bankroll. It's build a bankroll with the strategies we think can do it. Maybe that's what the thing is, right? Build the bankroll with the appropriate strategies, and that's let's do it. And Skill Luckin says the roles being the same. So there will be this. Let me show you something. Let me go switch to this. Give me a second here to move my screen over. I want to show you what I'm doing, just so y'all can see it. Here is the screen. Here is I got to get to the right tracker here, but I am tracking rolls. So part of the reason why I'm so slow in the morning is that I'm tracking rolls. Now I started a brand new tracker called Daily Paycheck. And this started last week. So from last week to this week, did I spell it wrong? I did. Daily Paycheck. It's got, come on, put your freaking glasses on so you can see. Daily Paycheck, right? Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's got 194. So I got about 200 rolls in so far. This is from last week and yesterday. And I'll keep tracking this one here. So this will be the set of rolls that I use over time. So for the first month, we'll do this. Every strategy that I run in the Paycheck is going to run in WinCrafts against these rolls. We're going to run them all against the same set of rolls. The first few strategies won't have a chance to do that. But once I get the rolls logged into WinCrafts, I'll rerun all the strategies together. It'll be like 8 or 9 strategies. We can do them all at once. So this will be the master list of rolls that they're all going to have to play against. So what I've actually rolled in front of you every day will be the thing. So, by the way, look, yesterday there was 5 6s in a row, 5 5s and a few rolls, and then all those 7s at the end. It was amazing the clusters I got into yesterday. So anyway, that is our go forward there. So all right, that was a kind of a long diversion there, but I wanted to make sure we talked about it. So I think I'm convinced now to go and just run it as mechanically as I can. And we can do after shows where we adjust and we can talk about adjustments, but I think maybe that's just the way to do it. I don't know. I'm very torn on the whole thing. So once we have the top strategies, then we can say how we make them better. That is kind of the goal, right? That is kind of the goal. We're trying to weed things out. So cool. What does Lou say? TCS says, good point, Lou, and I can't find Lou's comment. Lou says, stick to it for 2 days. Yeah, we can do that. We can even use Friday. One of the points I was thinking about making yesterday was 4 days I want to be hardcore. Monday through Thursday. Friday, in here has always been Friday Follies. Out there in the garage, I thought Friday would be kind of a day where we can either play with our excess winnings if we have any, or maybe Friday's a day to try some adjustments. Maybe that's how we do it. Maybe Friday is just the who gives a shit day, and we'll try it. All right, well, that's good. Thanks for talking me through it, everybody. I'm glad that we had a chance to do that together. Let's do our regular show here. Now, coming out, reminder, Friday night, Old Bay versus Colonel Potter. We have a question. Oh, some weird words on there. Question for you, go. Talking Alfredo last night, we're getting to the point now where the daily schedule on the channel is getting to be a real thing. Like we've got, 6 a.m. Pacific time, Joe is going live. 8 a.m. I'm going live. 7 o'clock gap, by the way. 9 a.m. I'm on the Paycheck. There are craftsy shows all day long after that. And the roulette team can maybe start filling in some of the gaps or going at the same time as we go and having, dueling shows, but different games. I wonder if the craftsy folks want to do some dual streaming to their channels into here, or have a dedicated, CGTV casino hour where it's a craftsy show at whatever noon or something like that. That one of us rotating dealer runs it or something. But we're getting to the point now where crafty's become such a freaking thing. Maybe we should think about doing a lockdown schedule on this channel and giving the key out to more people. So let's think about that. I'm working on it, Ken. You know how they say on the airplane, save yourself before you put a mask on the person next to you? I'm working on it. I don't have a way to get multiple cameras remotely into the software yet. There's a bug in the app that we're using. So that's the hold up there. So that's the thing. And I'm wondering also, I guess, about the weekly idea too, right? So can we do more weekly shows? We've got Wednesday LC, we got Friday Night Fights. I'm going to do Stop Loss Zero today at noon. I want to start doing that probably Tuesday nights. There's other things we can be doing here. as far as, I want to do Tales from the Dark Side. Ed's already doing Tales from the Table. There's ways to like organize all of our lives to get everything in. And I think we maybe need to talk about schedule because we're getting so many things on the docket here that I want to make sure we're not always texting each other behind the scenes to get ourselves not bumping into one another. It's just very hard. All right, what's happening here? Darksiders says, what if none of them survive? No strategy, by the way, will survive for 30 days. There's no strategy that's going to go 30 now. I almost guarantee you that. The thing of the matter is can we make money enough in the 29 or 28 days that it does win to offset the 1 or 2 days of loss? That's going to be the question. Is there excess profits in there that covers it and makes it worthwhile? I think that's what I hope to show you is that even if you go 29-1 or 28-1 or 28-2, it's going to feel like you're a freaking champion, but you're probably going to be even. You're going to end up losing, $2,000 and winning 2,400 or 2,800. Like it was a lot of work for a very little bit of gain. That's what this show is going to prove to us all. That plus the Stop Loss Zero show should prove that to you. That's kind of the intent here, is to prove that. Anyway, here we go. What is next to talk about? I think I got this down here. Reminder of the meetups, of course. I'll be quick here because I want to talk about money with you real quick. So September 15, 17, I'm telling you what, I've been texting with people. There's going to be some fun people coming to this thing. A couple YouTubers that and love are going to be here. That I'm not going to announce them coming yet until they actually buy tickets. But there's people that are coming that I think it's going to be pretty fun. I can't wait for this thing. And again, it's going to be just super chill. It's not going to be like Vegas, like DiceCon, where there's 100 people playing at 85 casinos. We have like 3 casinos or 4. In my general area, there's Angel of the Winds, Tulalip, Quilceda within about 10 minutes drive of each other, and they're all about a half hour north of my house. There's one about a half hour south of my house called Snoqualmie. That's the View Casino. We're going to play a session or 2 at each of them and just hang out. That's going to be the whole point. So get yourselves out here. Craps for the Cure Vegas is going to be November 11th to 13th. Again, it's Saturday the 11th or Friday the 11th. I forget. I think it's Saturday the 11th, Sunday the 13th, or Sunday the 12th of the 2 days we're going to film. That weekend, though, is going to be the thing. So we'll have all of you out. That's the one I want everybody at. That's the one that's going to be like immense. I want that to be huge and raise a ton of money. I'll have some announcements about the charity, and we'll interview the person who trains the dogs. I'm going to have her on, and it'll be a whole thing. So there we go. I'm working on it, Corey. I know you asked me yesterday. I'm working on the times. When Ian's back, probably next week, we're gonna drive out to Snoqualmie and talk to the pit down there, as well as Tulalip, and we're gonna lock in the private table start and end times at both places, so we'll know which one is which. I don't want to announce Friday's Snoqualmie or whatever because it might be reversed, but I'll let you know as soon as I can. But you plan on Friday night for sure, and plan on Sunday baseball game that ends about 4 o'clock. You can plan on Sunday at 4 o'clock being after 4 o'clock time to leave, and probably getting here as early as possible on Friday because we're going to play somewhere Friday night. I'm not sure which one it's going to be, but somewhere Friday night, somewhere Saturday. Saturday night will be a drinking brawl somewhere. So that's the plan. So let's see, what else do we have? Arnell has that posted on what does Arnell have posted on Casino Gaming TV? What am I missing? Jeff, can you please repeat that? Oh, you're talking to Arnell. Yeah, there is a guide. So Arnell hasn't seen this yet, but hey, you know what? Let me show you, because not everybody knows all the crap I got going on here. So let me switch over here again. I'm going to go to CasinoGaming.tv, and this is not correct right now. Casino Gaming TV. Go to the schedule page. Sorry. On the very front of the page, it does give us the running schedule. So when anybody in the list over here, and I'm adding more people to the list, whenever these folks have a live show scheduled, the live show will show up in the thing. So here you can see, like later on today, Alfredo's live a couple of times. I'm going to do a bust of the Headless Horseman today. There's going to be AZ going live with Nemo. So if you have a live show, and when LFC gets scheduled, LFC will be on here on Wednesday. So all the things that we do will be on there for sure. So that's just so y'all know, that's there. I'm working on getting all the channels wired into it. It takes a little bit of work to get that done. And when we have a bad time, like yesterday's timing was off, it doesn't refresh itself. So we're doing it. Ken's coming out my way like Uncle Buck. That'll be great. That'll be fun. All right, here we go. Oh, that's fun. Jen, I've done this before. Quick little sidetrack. When 9/11 happened, back in those days, when I had my software company, one of my biggest clients was in San Francisco, and they actually kept my business alive. They had so much custom work for me when the economy was completely upside down during that period after 9/11. I took that Amtrak train down to San Francisco and back probably 15 times. I rode that train. It's like 22 hours of a ride. Great trip though, man. That is some of the best scenery. It's awesome. You get the drinking car. It was fan-freaking-tastic. It was awesome. Yeah, do that. All right, here we go. Let's get to money because we have to get out of here in time to roll some dice upstairs, right? Today I want to talk to you about your money. So let me switch sides here. We are in the middle of a bankroll bill. So we've been talking about it all morning, and I want to do this series where I'm going to turn $10,000 into $100,000. And I want to do that by stress testing strategies and to some degree stress testing what I can shift at the table, but we've decided to kind of shrink that down. What I'm going to do is this. We've got $10,000 in our virtual bank account. I'm going to buy in for 10 to 15% of that every day, depending on the strategy. I'm going to bet proportionally to my bankroll or proportionally to my goal. And we're going to talk about how to bet towards your goal here in just a minute. Where my profits are going to go, while I'm building bankroll, 100% of my goal gets reinvested. So if I've got $1,000 buy-in with a 10% goal and I win $110, $100 of that dollars is going into the bankroll build for sure. 100% of my entire win goal is going in there. Anything excess, I can make a decision on. I can put it to a little, like, let's have fun with it account that we can try some crazy things with, or I can just put the whole freaking thing in there and just jack up the bigger bank account to get to the $100,000 level. So we'll make those decisions along the way, but at this point, you can guarantee that 100% of my win goal is going back into the bank to build that sucker up. Excess monies we'll make decisions on. The strategy selection so far, again, we're going to take our top 6 to 8 so far that we've done and liked, give them about 30 days. That's the idea. And then we'll do the top 2 or 3 of those at the very end, the last 3 months, the kind of the closing home stretch. We'll use those to close it out. So to Darksiders' point earlier, to what we talked about earlier, this is about whittling down the top 10 or so strategies and giving them a long runway to succeed or fail. And I think that the more we talk about it, I'm more inclined to say, let's just mechanically run these things and just give them a chance to do it or not do it. We'll see what happens. All right. So that's the plan for the bankroll build. But behind the scenes, I really want to talk to you about what it means to manage and run a big bankroll. What does a bankroll plan look like? And I think it starts out with having purpose-driven accounts. Now, a quick little sidetrack into my personal life, okay? Without giving you bank account numbers, I want to tell you how I run my life. My wife and I, a lot of couples fight about money. We did too. We fought about money for years and years and years. And what we have done is segment our money out into purpose-driven accounts. And we came up with this idea. It's not a new idea, but we did this with ourselves, God, maybe 15 years ago. And we've never fought about money since. We have an account, which is our primary account. And I know mortgage, electric, blah, 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 blah. I know what needs to be in that account every month. I know exactly, almost to the number with a little fluctuation of the electric bill, what we need to kind of make the Cocos Corporation work for a given month, not including food and everything else. So we each put half of that amount from our paychecks goes into that account. We know on the first of the month, we each put X into the account on actually the 30th of the month before. And we know that account, I can forget about it. Everything's on auto pay and it just goes. We never have a late payment on anything, right? Our second purpose-driven account is for groceries. And we know that we're gonna limit ourselves to, well, I think it's $800 a month now on groceries, whatever that is. We each put from our paycheck $400 into the grocery account on the 30th of the month. That's what Kathy shops with. She uses Amazon and blah, blah, blah. That's the shopping put food on our table account. We then have we call it our joint or our fun money account. And again, we each put a percentage of our paycheck into that account. That's the account that we go out to dinner with, we go to movies with, we do Grubhub with, we do random crap with, we buy birthday presents for other people with, right? That's we never have a question. Can we afford to give so-and-so $100 for graduation? Well, what's in the fun account? Okay, let's do it. That's exactly how we run our life. It's magical. We never fight, right? Years ago, we'd have it all in one account and try and figure things out, and you'd be overdrawn. It's a freaking disaster, right? I look at my gambling life in the exact same way, right? I have a master account. I call it the 401g account. It's a kind of a play on a 401k. It's a 401g. Ken calls it the master bank account. That's gambling funds only. What goes in that account is what goes onto the table or into the machines and nothing else. That's what that account's for. Now, I have in the past used it for travel and expenses because I figured it was kind of like a business thing. Ken's got me talked out of that. So now there's a separate account called expenses, right? My expenses account, I fill from so gambling account hopefully makes me money, right? If I pull 1,000 out, I put 1,000 back. That thing, I try to keep that thing as level as I can, right? I try to never deviate from where it is. It stays pretty stable. If I win some, it goes into the earnings account, which is my sort of, what the gambling made for me. If I have excess, I split it between an expenses account and an excess account. The excess account, for example, is what I brought to Vegas with me, right? So this time I went to Vegas, not one dime of that came from my 401g account because we had won money throughout the year, and I fed this other account with that money for the purpose of going to Vegas and farting around with it. So my expenses account and my excess account funded Vegas. I went out there without a care in the world. The year before I went out to Vegas for DiceCon and for the Preps for the Cure with my 401g money, and I was stressed out a little bit. This year, couldn't care less because I'd managed my money in my G account to the point where I was able to fund other things and pay for the trip and not worry about it, right? I think if you segment your money into accounts with purpose like this, you're going to have a much better, lower stress time when you're playing, right? Use the G account as the hammer to build everything else up. Now, Jacob from Wager Me This likes to say, don't build a bankroll, win at the casino and use your money to buy things, buy a trip, buy food, buy presents, buy whatever. It's the same concept, right? My G account, if I take $1,000 out of the 401g and go to the casino and I win $500, I put $1,000 back in the G account. I might put another $250 in there just to grow it a little bit, but that excess $250 goes into the excess account, and that's what I'm buying stupid shirts like this with. Like that's what I do, right? I just make sure that my master bankroll account is always tight and loaded and growing as I build my way through. So I think that's a very important thing. Yeah, Craftsmaster. Gordon Ramsay, that's it. Gordon Ramsay is the man. If you don't know who he is, go grab his series. He's got a DVD series and a book series. The purpose-driven accounts is the answer to the gambling money not intruding on your life. It's the answer to your gambling play and your profits and your losses being under control and having a plan with it. I think it's the most important thing of all the things I've done in my life, gambling-wise, strategies and play styles and blah, blah, blah. This right here is the thing that's clicked for me, right? And I've been doing this to some degree for 20 years. I've only had two accounts. I've had the G account and I've had a money that is my excess account. I've now split to 4. And I think it makes so much sense to do this. So if you're going to be a regular gambler, I'm not going to use the word professional. If you're going to be a regular gambler, going on the regular, manage your money in a smart way. Don't take one dime out of your family's, food account or your checking account or your family's fund money account. Set it aside. How do you build this account? All the ways, right? I do custom work. I do custom programming. I teach on Saturdays sometimes. These extra, when I bitch about, I taught all day yesterday, that's extra money that feeds the account. That's where it comes from, right? You got to start that thing somewhere. And so all the excess that we do feeds that thing that makes your life run. So that's the first point I want to make. Now, the second thing we got to talk about is how we split that money around, okay? So in the G account, 100% of the time, my goal, it's a withdrawal and a deposit of the exact same amount. In fact, let me show you something. Hold on a second. I should have had this ready to go. But if you have played with me at a casino, you have seen me pull this out. This is my gambling wallet, right? This is my goofy looking little thing, right? In this wallet, if I open it up, is my card for the casino that I'm going to. It is a handful of my little lammers that I use in the rail, and it is my G account. There's $1. I have $1 to get. No, it's I think it's $500. Usually it's $500, right? There's $500 that I keep in the wallet, right? This is my play money. So when I say replace your buy-in, okay, we're going to talk about your buy-in amount here in a minute, right? Replace your buy-in. What I mean by that is I go to the ATM, I make a withdrawal of $500. At the end of my session, I deposit at least $500 back, plus whatever I want. The way that this thing works, I pulled $500 out of that account like 4 months ago, right? And I put it into this little thing. I went to the casino and I bought in with the $500. I have not had to go back to the bank yet. I take this $500 every single, this is the same $500 I've been using for months. Go to the table, buy in with it, cash out $590, cash out $560, cash out $620, and I put that 60, 80, whatever it is, that goes back to the bank. Never put this back in. I haven't had to. I pulled it out and I've been working the same damn money ever since, right? But if you want to do it with an ATM, fine. Replace your buy-in every single time, okay? If your win goal, and you're trying to do this on the regular, like I said, if your win goal is, let's say, 10%, let's say your win goal was $100 or whatever, $60 goes back into that account to build a bankroll, right? $20 goes into your expenses, $20 goes into your excess. That's how I do it. My accounts are split that way, 60, 20, 20. So I've always got money going into the earnings account, or replacing the original, building it up by 60%. The rest of it goes into a split between my expenses and my fund money, right? My buy shit with it, right? That excess account could be used to buy a new camera. It could be used to buy a nice dinner. It could be used to just go to the casino and try the Philly special 5 times, whatever I want to, right? That's how I split it. Split yours however you want to, right? You can put half into the main account and split half the other way. You can put 90% of your win back into the account and grow the bankroll and put a teeny tiny bit into the fund money and expense account. You decide, it's your money, right? I'm just giving you kind of an example of how you could split your day's pay from the casino. When you win, what do you do with your money? I think you got to do smart things with your money. Otherwise, there's the bleed. The bleed happens when you're not making good decisions. I think this is how you make good decisions. So that's that piece of it. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about really is managing that 401g account. And you got to be in touch with your play purpose. Are you there for a regular paycheck? Are you a regular player? Or are you there for disposable income? Are you just a recreational player? Like once every 6 months, I'm going to empty that whole freaking account and I'm going to go burn it, light it on fire. Are you that guy that's going to just, burn it up on fire? Fine, that's cool. Have a separate account for it. But what I basically do is I like to decide on what's my base session amount. And as you saw, it's $500. My normal buy-in, $500 to $1,000, depending on where I'm at, what I'm doing. I know that's what it is, right? That's my comfort zone, is 500 or 1,000, either way. Now, the bankroll that you need to have should be 5 or 10 times that, depending on, again, the level of risk you want to incur. I'm going to show you some examples here in a minute, but your base session amount times 5 or 10, that should be what's in your G account. Don't go to the casino with $500 to me unless you got $2,500 in the bank. At minimum, I'd rather have 5K. I'd rather have 10 times it, right? And do 1/10 of it. Don't show up without backing bankroll. If you're going to do this as a regular thing, you got to have backing bankroll to support your habit. That's very, very important, okay? If I'm traveling, by the way, the travel bankroll I view as a subset of the master bankroll. So if I have, let's say I've got 10,000 in the master bankroll and I'm bringing 5,000 with me on a trip, I look at that $5,000 as the bankroll. So my sessions are 10% of that. It's $500 per buy-in. Okay. If I have $10,000 and I'm staying home, my buy-in is 10%. It's 1,000. You follow me? So your buy-ins at your tables are about 10% of what your master bankroll is. And I look at what I bring with me to Vegas or to Biloxi or to wherever. That is my master bankroll for that period of time. And I work at 10% off of that. That's the way that I do that. I think it's important to see your bankroll in smaller chunks and how you're going to use them. And I level up when I have a new session, when I get a new session earned. So, for example, if I have 10,000 in my master and I earn another $1,000, there's 11,000 in the master. Now my buy-in is 1,100. You follow me? I just go up the increment, but I don't go up immediately. I wait for a whole extra bankroll, a whole extra buy-in before I start increasing my levels. So I go to 1,100 when I get to 11,000. And I go to 1,200 when I get to 12,000. So I make sure that I keep adding additional full buy-ins before I start increasing the money. That's an important thing too. Otherwise, you get way out over your skis and you're going to have a big, big problem. So there's that piece of it. Now, here's an example, okay? If you're a $500 buy-in player, and we'll use me as an example, that's normally what I'm doing, right? If you want to play it with a 20% risk factor, I'm willing to put 20% of that bankroll at risk, right? I have $2,500 in the bank. I'm bringing $500 or 20% of that money to the casino, okay? I will level it up and I'll start buying in for 600 when I have 3K in the bank, when I've earned enough money to have $3,000. So every 500 is another bullet in the gun, so to speak. I give myself an extra small bullet. When I get to 700, when I have 3,500 in the bank, right? When I get the extra bullet, that's when I go ahead and increase my level. That's how I work that. If I'm more of the mind to be a 10% risk player, which is normally what I am, I want 5K in the bank, pull out $500. I don't go to 600 until I'm at 5,500. I don't go to 700 until I'm at 6,000, right? Every new bankroll, every new buy-in level increases my number. That's how I build my levels. And you build levels, you make your wins and your goals more significant. So buying it at 500, you're looking to win 50, $60. You're looking to win 10, 15%. Buying in for 1,000 gives you more buying power, more green chips versus red chips kind of thing. So you got to be, I think, leveled up as we do it. When you watch me do my Bankroll Builder series, that's what you're going to watch me do. I'm buying in for 1,000, so I'm betting mostly green chips. Those will become $35 bets and $40 bets and $50 bets as the buy-in level grows, but that won't grow until the master bankroll grows to the point where I think it can support an extra level of buy-in. That's such an important thing, I think, for us to remember. So as we go through this. And I guess the same thing here. If you're a $1,000 player, it's the same thing. 20% risk, you need 5K. You don't go up to 1,200 or 1,400 bucks until you earn another full buy-in. So if your buy-in's 1,000, you don't increase your buy-in until you've earned an extra $1,000. Then you can go, okay, now I'll buy in for 1,200. 10% risk, it's the same thing. 10 sessions, $10,000 in the bank. You don't go up to 1,100 until you've earned an extra full buy-in, an extra $1,000. That's how you've got to make that work. You don't get to play with $5,000 until you got 50K in the bank or 25K in the bank. You just don't get to do it. Doesn't matter how powerful you think that bankroll is, always working on a percentage basis. I think that's the most important thing that I can tell you about managing that account and keeping your session, your buy-ins and your money movement proper. That will help you. It'll take a long time. You'll see it's going to take me a year. If this series I'm working on works, it's going to take us a full year to build from 10,000 to 100,000 because I'm going to do it this way. I'm not going to go to a $1,200 buy-in until I'm at 12,000 in the bank. It's going to take me a long time to get bigger bets out there, but this is the safest way to do it. This is the way to do this, how you build it up. So that's the reason why I'm showing it to you over the course of a year of that series. And I think it's going to kind of nail in some of these theories here. So how do you handle your losses? Well, it depends on who you are. If you're a paycheck player, right, you keep going, right? If I 10,000 in the bank and I lose $1,000, that sucks. It doesn't mean that the next 10 sessions I got to put it back in the bank to build it up. You keep on doing it. You keep on earning your paycheck. You keep on filling your earnings account, your expenses account, and your fund money account. Every dollar of excess above and beyond, that's what refills the bank. If you want to stop putting money into the fund money account or your excess account and put all that excess back in immediately, cool. You can build it up quicker. But you're playing a long game. You're playing a longer form game when you're managing a 401g account over many, many sessions. If you're a recreational player, you fund your account externally. Like I said, you pick up extra shifts. You want to go drive an Uber or drive for Uber Eats on the weekends and make an extra $250, $300 on a weekend and put that in your gambling account. Fan-freaking-tastic. That's smart. That's smart. Do something to fund it. That's cool. If you're a recreational player, do that. If you got excess money, you got a bonus at work, put an extra grand or two in there. That's the way you do that. And then you bang it out with your play. If you go to the casino and you're a recreational guy and you go Philly special and you make $3K on Corey's roll, or you make $3K or $5K when Adam's rolling, cool. Put that back in the G account. Fund that bad boy up with that. That's what I would recommend that you do there. But handle your losses smartly. Again, if you're paycheck playing, you can't focus on replenishing. You've got to stick with the plan and let your excess wins be what puts it back in there. And it will go back in. It'll go back in. You look at Ken. Ken went 41-1 or something like that. Over the course of the 41 wins that he won, he had some excess money, which he used completely to refund and replace the account. At one point, he went and re-enveloped the whole thing. So that is a smart way, I think, to kind of manage your losses. Is if you're a regular player, let your excess funds do it over time. If you're a recreational player, just jack it in there as you get a chance to. Like save up for the fun days, right? And I think I want to close probably with this thought here, which is playing goal-oriented. And I think it's important that we do this. If you're, and this again, I'm talking to the regular players, all you guys who are regular players, not I go once every quarter and try and hit a home run. If you're a regular player, what's a reasonable goal? What's a reasonable goal, and how do you want to get to your goal? This is the most important thing of the day right here. When you're playing at the table, you got to make a decision on how do I get to my reasonable goal. If your reasonable goal is whatever it is, if it's 10%, put it in dollars, right? 10% of, when I was trying to win $500 out of the 5,000, okay, look to win $500. How can I win that money? Right now, I'm looking to win $100 a day up in the garage. How can I win $100? I can, one hit. I can go 640 across, take one hit, win my $100, and I'm out, right? I can put huge chunk of my bankroll out there at risk for a very short amount of time and do like a one or two hit type of thing. I could do what I decided to do is take 4 hits at a quarter. We'll spread our bankroll out. We'll take 4 hits at a quarter to make our goal. If you're nervous, you could go 10 $10 hits and play a more conservative, like lower risk strategy, but you got to win a lot more often to make it happen, which is, again, time could be your enemy. Or you can go 20 hits for $5. You got to decide what is your appetite for risk in the moment of play. We've talked about this a lot. Like some of these strategies we run are, whoa, that's crazy. But honestly, if I do a 130 across Philly special and I'm buying in for $1,000, it's really, what is that about? That's about 16% of my bankroll every player. It's an acceptable risk level. We're playing with greens, 4 hits and you can be done, and you can get a few times out of it. You got to make that call for yourself, right? What level of chip do I need to win to get to my goal? And how many of those do I want to incur, right? The bigger the chip or the less number of times you have to win, the bigger risk you're putting your bankroll at. So like 330 inside, for example, you can get it in one shot, but you only get 3 cracks at it because you're putting a third of your bankroll out there at $1,000. So I think you got to think about that piece of it. So anyway, I've got spreadsheets that I can share with you that kind of speak to some of this stuff. Let me show it to you really quick, just so you can see what they look like. I can share them with you, or you can copy them. But here we go. Let me go switch over here again, and excuse me, give you a look at. Oh wow, that's really zoomed in. This is I think I put this out here a long time ago. This might actually even be linked from the Procraft's main website on YouTube. But let's zoom this thing in. And here's a good look at like an estimator. Let's say I want to win, let's say $500. Okay. I want to play once a week, or for 1 week, I want to play 5 sessions. I want to play 5 times in 1 week. My win goal for the week is 500. My win goal per day is 100. Okay. And here it breaks it down. If I want to do like a 3-unit play, I got to bring $500. I got to bring 25 hours. I got to win 3 units to get there, right? If I want to go and win it by unit size, I could do one $100 unit And as you change this, say, I want to win $1,000. I want to win $1,000, right? And I want to go once a week. We're going to play 5 times a week, or 1 week, 5 times a week. I need to win $200. Now it changes everything for me, right? It changes all my stuff. Now my unit size is $75. I got to win 3 $75 units, $225. That's $1,000. And this is giving me kind of like play levels that I want to be at. When I'm looking at how much money do I want to win, how much am I willing to bet per bet, here's where we are. This gives you all the answers that you need. Okay, there's your 30%, there's your 10%. So there's a good little way to look at it. And yeah, I can share this. This spreadsheet's got all sorts of stuff. It's got the logs in it. It's got a trip planner in it. It's got all sorts of really cool little worksheets in here for you to kind of project how much money you need to get out and play, what your bet sizing ought to be. You know, if your master bankroll is $1,000, you should be buying in for $100, looking to win $10. Like, it's giving you, you know, and you can, again, change your win goals and loss limits here to reflect your personal reality. And this will change. So my win goal is 25% and I'm willing to lose 50%. It changes all the numbers, right? If I have $1,000, I buy in for 100, I need to win $25, I'm willing to lose 50. It gives you everything you need here to kind of work through it. So this is your worksheets. If you want them, I will share this link and make it a thing that you all can make a copy of on your own and sort of download and play as you will. So there it is. There is my spiel on money. I haven't done a money talk with you in a while, and I know that you want me to go roll dice. So it's time to go roll some dice. But let me give you my final thoughts and some questions and answers here before we go. Let me check the queues first. Any questions from anybody? Questions? Let's see what we have here. Looks like nothing new. Jalan, what happens when these paycheck series don't equate the same results as a practice run versus real life play? Well, it's going to hopefully be close. I mean, I really hope that's close because we're going to throw so many dice. It's going to be, I'm going to do, you know, a paycheck a day for a year. So my assertion is that over the course of the year, 2 things are going to happen. One is I'm going to become better at throwing, maybe. Still have more reliable results, maybe. And I'll say and because this is true. The distribution of my outcomes will be random, right? Even for a quote unquote controlled shooter, your curve, your apex curve is going to look the exact same. Over time, it'll look the same. It's a matter of timing and all that kind of, in pockets and that kind of thing. So I expect to have a completely random outcome of results, dice results. I expect to get a little bit better at throwing. I expect that over the course of time, the anomalies, like yesterday's 5 7s in a row, you'll see some of those, but most times you won't. We're going to see the crazy and we're going to see the normal. We should see these strategies, I think, work their way through. I'm hoping that we get a good sense of and reality that I will be confident enough saying, after playing the Latterson 30 days in a row, I would or would not take it to the casino every day with my actual money. Like every single day. That's what we're going to find out today. I think it's going to be a pretty good 1-for-1, minus the stress, the music, and all the people out there. So I hope that it works out the way I think it will. And that's it. My final thoughts are this. Pray for me. Hope that we get this thing done, right? I want to see these things work. I want to see them work fairly. And I want to have a good time doing it. I hope we get some education out of it. I hope we get, you know me, I'm always about teaching. So hopefully we get, at the end of the day, playing in the garage, we get something good that we can take away from this whole thing. I hope that we get learnings about strategies, how to find holes, how to avoid holes, and how to recognize them, and how to kind of dodge and weave and what good decisions are. I hope that the series works out the way I think it's going to work out. I hope I get $100,000 at the end, but more importantly, I hope that we learn along the way how to increase a playing bankroll and how to be a regular player that plays pretty safely. And that's what I'm hoping for. So I don't know, Skill. Does everybody know what a negative EV game this is? You cannot overcome it with bankroll management. You can stave it off. You can be in control of it, but it's a negative EV game. I'm doing today the show called Stop Loss Zero, which is a dovetail what Ken's doing with his kind of Bust It series, where I'm just going to play a strategy like the Horseman with the intent of breaking it. So even if I make money with it, I'm going to keep on going. I want you to see that every strategy will eventually nosedive. No matter how good it is and how good the shooters are right now, it will nosedive. And that's going to give us the talking point of, hey, sometimes you win, you got to leave because you know it's going to nosedive. I want you to see the nosedives. So There it is, folks. Let's get out of here. It's 8 o'clock. Give me 5 minutes to go make a fresh cup here. I'll see you in the garage for the next installment of Daily Paycheck. Thanks, everybody, for watching today. Love y'all. Y'all are amazing. And if I don't see you for the paycheck, happy 4th. Be safe. God bless America. God bless all y'all. Thanks everyone for being here. I'll see you in a little bit.